this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With Karina ready in her chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
It is time for the ThinkSoJoE Show. Welcome, friends, once again.
Hello.
I am ThinkSoJoE. She is Karina.
I am Karina.
We are here, live, in studio, ThinkSoJoE Show.
Hi.
It is the 49th anniversary of the release of The Godfather in theaters.
Well, it's too bad it's not the 50th. That would be a whole lot neater.
It would have been, but it wouldn't line up with our show because that won't be on a Wednesday. So that explains me doing a shitty Marlon Brando impression on the thumbnail.
It was a good try.
I just couldn't get it right because I had to reach across for the mouse to get the screenshot.
There was no timer.
No, because I was doing it through here because I was doing it through our broadcasting software.
Okay.
That's how I always take pictures now.
Okay.
Anyway.
Listen to my voice coming and going.
Yeah, look at the chat. Jasmine says this isn't actually live.
It's not.
And Kevin says Karina the goth babe.
Just for today.
We're this isn't actually live. We're just making it up and just assuming we know what you guys are saying in the chat.
We know you guys that well.
Yeah. It doesn't I'm trying to get more professional as we go.
Like professional as in how we act or how your gear is?
How we run the show, in a sense of I actually have a timer over here now that tells me when we need to shut up and play this last song. It doesn't help that this last song, where the hell did I even put my notes?
It's over there.
Here it is.
It's like a 6-minute song.
It is a 6-minute and 4-second song, so I'm like, I gotta find an online timer that will count down to the second.
Yeah.
And that was much harder than I anticipated.
Well, this one's pretty.
And this one works. It's at timeanddate.com.
Okay.
I swear I ended up on whattimeisitnow.com, which is if you watched BoJack Horseman.
Oh.
It's the website that Todd ends up working for, and they produced the show Filbert starring BoJack on that website.
I'm just so floored that you pay attention and I fall asleep to this show that I picked out.
Yeah, I came to really enjoy that show. So
it's
now
good.
When you're falling asleep watching it, I'm like, oh, hey, let me watch this again.
Yeah.
And South Park, you're watching South Park again.
Always.
No, I needed to count down to a specific actual time of day instead of setting a timer. It would be easy if I could just because then I have to I guess with an actual timer I'd have to figure out when.
You'd have to do too much thinking.
I'd have to do a lot of math, right? To figure out okay, how long of the show do I need to plan for?
They just won't get it unless they're sitting on this side of the computer.
Well, I'm trying to explain.
They need a picture.
So if I was going to use the countdown, the stopwatch or what, the timer on my clock on my phone.
Yes.
I would have to come up with 1 hour, 53 minutes,
53 minutes and
whatever. And then I would have to hit it the second the show starts. Now, the problem with that is I'm already hitting a button here to go on all WNY and a button here to record the show. So I've only got 2 hands, so it's much easier to...
I could hit a button.
I suppose you could.
Actually, I could hit 2 buttons.
But I feel like it's much easier to set a timer or set an alarm or a countdown timer that goes off Wednesday, March 24th, 2021 at 7:56 p.m. So, but the trick was finding one where you can time it out to the second instead of to the minute.
Yes.
So I finally found one. And so now we know when to shut up so that the show can end right at 8 o'clock.
But will we?
Hopefully. I've got 3 things to watch tonight at 8 o'clock. You know that?
Jeez, what do you got?
I've got AEW Dynamite, of course, WWE NXT.
Right.
And the Buffalo Sabres are playing the Pittsburgh Penguins
Oh,
tonight.
they're playing again.
Yes, they played the other night.
Did they?
They're now at 14 consecutive losses. Yeah, you remember I came out and I told you that Carter Hutton got injured in that game. So now we're down to like...
That is right.
So like here's what happened with... Here's the Sabres goaltending situation right now. Linus Ullmark, starting goalie, out. Carter Hutton, backup goalie, out. Johansson, the third string goalie, traded. So now we're on our 4th string goalie, who up until the other night hadn't played in an NHL game since 2006, I want to say.
Ouch.
So yeah, and I mean, give him some credit. He did pretty well. I think if we would have had like a proper NHL goaltender in net, the Sabres could have won that game. Jeff Skinner scored in that game. So that's 2 in the last 3 games for Skinner.
Oh.
So the steamed hams are starting to pile up now that we've got a new interim coach.
Steamed hams?
The steamed hams.
Is that
That's what I call it when Skinner scores. Patented Skinner burgers.
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis.
I can't do that. My voice.
Aurora Borealis. Yep. They're saying I'm making it harder. I'm not. I'm making it easier. I found what I needed. I got the timer right here.
Just because you guys don't understand doesn't mean it's good stuff.
I want to get like a hardware one, like and just put it up on the wall here. And she's like, no, don't say stuff like that because you'll actually do it.
Yes. And
I'm like,
I don't think you need that. I think you want that.
But there is just a perfect amount of space right between the wall and the record and right under the Metallica plaque. So there's a perfect amount of space for exactly what I want to do.
I see what you're saying. I'm not saying...
She's not saying she's not saying I can't.
That's all I'm saying.
She's not saying I can't. She's saying I shouldn't. Is what she's saying.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
Should I get some cinnamon toast crunch? Do you think?
You should get some cinnamon toast crunch Oreos.
We were just talking about. I do need a hockey scoreboard.
Oh man, Kevin.
I don't need a hockey scoreboard because I'm actually like watching all the Sabres games now that I don't have to leave at 8 o'clock to go to work every night.
It's been a while since you had to do that.
Yeah. And like one of the things it asks you when you go on the like, can I get a COVID vaccine website is like, are you a public facing hotel employee? And I'm like, fuck, I quit that job like 2 years too early.
Yeah.
I could be getting a vaccine right now. My mom got hers today. Yours got hers.
My mom got her first round yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
I woke up to a text from my mom like, "Oh, I'm going for my first shot today. I wanted to get the Johnson & Johnson, but I'm getting this other one." Like, okay, that's cool. I think she was getting the Pfizer. I don't know. My phone's all the way over there. But when I woke up, I'm like, "Oh, good luck." And she said, "Oh, I just got it like 30 seconds ago." I'm like, "Yeah, I just woke up 30 seconds ago." So Jasmine's got hers in April.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Jeez, everybody's able to get theirs before me.
Yeah, well, you don't leave the house.
I would like to leave the house. I would leave the house if I had the vaccine.
I know.
I guess I gotta wait. I'll wait. I'll be patient.
Yeah.
As long as I can get it before the the show that's inevitably going to be rescheduled that I'm supposed to go to in July, which is Guns N' Roses in Toronto.
It just doesn't sound like that much fun to me.
I love Guns N' Roses. I was looking forward to the Smashing Pumpkins, and I'm hoping they're still going to be on that show.
Oh, God, that just sounds horrible.
I'm hoping that show still happens, and I'm hoping I can go.
Yeah. I hope it happens.
And I'm hoping if it happens and I can't go because of, international travel restrictions.
True.
That Ticketmaster will be like, "Yeah, okay, here's your money."
Yeah. Do you think they'll actually do that, though?
No. And what sucks is I couldn't cancel my Greyhound, my bus ride. And they said, "Oh, it's, you can reschedule it. We'll give you a credit. You can use this credit anytime in the next calendar year." And then the show got rescheduled for, just after that.
Ouch.
So it's like, damn. And now, and of course, as of right now, the border's still not open. I still can't go. even if they do keep the show the date it is.
Yeah.
Which I can't imagine they will. I think it'll get pushed back further.
When is it pushed back to right now?
I think July right now.
I mean, who knows?
I also hope it doesn't get pushed back to like 2022. I'd really like to see this
know.
show. I'm like excited. I'm like, yeah, Guns N' Roses, Smashing Pumpkins. Like, this is gonna be a killer show for me. I guess you guys don't like it.
For you.
I guess you guys don't gotta go if you don't want to go. I want to go.
I'm not going.
Yeah, okay. You don't
guess
have to
what?
go.
I'm not going.
Okay, fine. I'm
Just
going.
like I wouldn't expect you to go see Glassjaw.
Right.
Actually, I would not even ask you. I would be like, Joe, you are exempt from the following situation.
But you know I would take you to see Glassjaw.
Yeah,
as
but
much
you know
as I
what?
dislike them,
Yeah, I know you would.
I would take you. I'd let you go hang out by the stage or whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm hanging out at the bar.
I saw Glassjaw once in Chicago. Was it Chicago? It was in Chicago. I don't ever want to see them again. Glassjaw fans are fucking assholes. They're like wrestling fans. Like, they geek out really weird.
The only thing I've ever done in Chicago was go on Judge Mathis.
Oh, we climbed the center of a parking garage because we were too lazy. Okay, we climbed the center of the parking garage because we were too lazy to walk around the parking garage. I had like a shopping bag full of breakables, and I'm just like throwing it over the fucking parking ramp. Like, yeah, we shouldn't have done that.
No.
We climbed high too. It was a big park. It wasn't like a Buffalo parking ramp.
I've been to Chicago. I know how big
tall.
how big their buildings are
Yeah.
there. When you go to Chicago, and I'm sure that, like, I know this isn't probably the case anymore because I don't know how many of these shows actually still exist, but when you go to be on Judge Mathis, it's in the NBC building in Chicago, and you have to walk down this hallway. And now when you walk down this hallway, there's Oprah's set. There's the hallway that you see every episode of the Jerry Springer Show. And then at the very end of this walkway is on the left, there's the Judge Mathis courtroom. Okay. And the green room is on the right for them to do your makeup and get you all dressed up and shit. Yeah. So, yeah. That's a small mini micro imagination tour of the NBC studios in Chicago. And then every show, like, I've been on like a couple of court shows, and they're always like, you fly in the night before, they put you up in a hotel, you get food, you get all this other shit. But as soon as the show's over, you're on your fucking way to the airport.
That sucks.
Yeah. So you don't, like, you can hang out the night before you can see the city. So like, Chicago was like, they put us up in a nice hotel, and we went down and had, they gave us food vouchers for a local restaurant. It wasn't like cash or anything. It was just like, here's some vouchers. You could go to this restaurant.
Like, for a specific restaurant.
The dinner at this restaurant, but it was a nice restaurant. It was like, I think like it was a significant amount of amount of money towards this restaurant. And I'm pretty sure we came home with leftovers because there was a lot. When I did LA and did divorce court, and what these court shows do is they put you up in separate hotel rooms, like separate buildings. Like, you can't even be like, you're not even in the same building.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
It does. So for divorce court, I'm in like a Koreatown kind of deal. Okay. In Los Angeles. Hi, Nick. It's Nick Landers.
Hey,
anyway.
Nick.
I'm in like this Koreatown kind of deal, and all that's in this neighborhood is like, there's an internet cafe across from the hotel.
Okay.
There's like a McDonald's, there's like a Hardee's, and like not much else. Yeah. But they didn't give you vouchers, they give you cash. So they had me $75 cash. I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna go get a double quarter pounder with cheese and pocket the rest of this.
Right.
And but my ex, who I'm going on, Madison's mom, we're going on divorce court. She calls me, and she says, "Oh yeah, I'm taking a walk outside my hotel, and I just walked by the Tonight Show, or actually, it wasn't the Tonight Show. It was the show that comes on after the Tonight Show was when Jimmy Fallon was hosting that. And she's like, oh, I just walked by the studio over there and Buck Cherry's outside playing. And I'm like,
you got a Hardee's. She's got Buck Cherry.
I'm like, how did I get stuck in fucking Koreatown and you're in fucking Hollywood? Like, she's like, yeah, I can see the Hollywood sign from my room. Like, I want to see the fucking Hollywood sign. That's the one thing I want to do when I'm here is see the fucking Hollywood sign. I could see it way off in the distance leaving the studio. I could see it.
Oh, man.
And to hammer home that they will not let you, like, interact with each other outside of the show. When the show was over, first they send you to, like, a mediator, and they're like, well, this is what we think you should do next. And then, like, we're standing outside. One of our rides is there. The other one isn't. Because they get you cars to the airport and everything. So they call them limos. They're not.
Yeah, they're not.
They're just fancy. They're nice cars, but they're not limos by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, I see what you did there with limos and stretch.
No pun intended. Anyway, so we're standing out there, and only one of the cars is there, and we're just like, oh, we could just take the one. It's cool. We'll save you guys some money. And they're like, no, you can't do that. Can't do it. No, you have to take this car. He has to take that car. Like, no. And I'm just like, I tell my driver when I get, I'm like, man, I really wanted to see the Hollywood side. He says, it's over there. And it's like this fucking big from where I'm sitting. And I'm just like, this sucks. Like, why did I get stuck in fucking, And like, I didn't realize it until years and years later. And there's a great documentary out there called LA 92. And it's about the Rodney King riots.
Oh, okay.
And like, that all started like in the area that I was staying.
Oh, no shit.
It's like, oh, in this Korean area of town, like, oh, fuck, that's right where I was staying. When I was there for divorce court.
Wow.
I mean, obviously this is, 12, 13 years later, but still, like, but the documentary LA 92, if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film.
Do you know where I can see it?
You can see it in my Vudu account. I own that documentary. They were offering it for free for a while, which is why I actually own a copy. But I'm pretty sure you could get it on any streaming platform like Amazon or Vudu or Google, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it costs now if it's available to stream anyway. I mean, we could find out.
Jazzy wants to know if Laura's still alive. I've been wondering that too. Have you heard from Laura?
I have not heard from Laura.
Oh, dear.
Laura has completely vanished from my life.
Oh, no.
92. LA 92.
There it is.
Let me see where you can get. Oh, you can watch it for free.
On Hulu.
If you have your streaming services, it is on Hulu. It's also available on a service called Canopy for free. And also, if you have DirecTV, you can watch it for free.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can rent it for, looks like $3.99 on most of the major platforms, or buy it for $9.99.
Okay.
It's a fun movie. I didn't do anything to Laura. I don't know where she went. I don't know why she...
You do.
I don't know. I was totally expecting to see her pop up in my Twitch stream last night when I was playing Retromania Wrestling, finally, after all this time that I've been waiting for it to drop on a console.
You were so excited, and I don't know this because you expressed your excitement to me. I know this because you expressed your excitement while I was trying to sleep.
To my chatters on my...
Yes.
Me and this dude were having a conversation about bad booking in wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Basically. But I did get super excited. There was one part in the story mode where Bill Apter, who used to work for Pro Wrestling Illustrated, is in the game. And Bill Apter, if anybody used to listen to Board Wrestling Fan, for the longest time, our intro had Bill Apter in it.
Oh.
Because Bill is the best possible podcast guest you could ever book. And I mean, no disrespect to anybody that's been on or will be on this show, but Bill Apter, let me tell you, this guy this guy is famous enough. Like, everybody knows in the wrestling industry knows who he is.
Okay.
Because he used to be the photographer for like Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He runs OneWrestling.com now. And this dude did not have to do this, okay? My buddy Cassidy set this up for me. And Bill Apter is calling me on the phone. Hey, I just wanted to set up a good time with you. I'm leaving for Europe. this coming week, but when I get back, we can definitely do an interview. What time's good for you? When can we do this? And I call him back, and he's like, well, listen, he left a voicemail. I call him back. He's like, well, listen, I'm getting ready for my trip to Europe, and I'm in a Walmart parking lot right now. So, why don't I call you back? But right now, while I've got you on the phone, why don't I cut some promo for your podcast?
Okay.
Just sound bites like, hey, this is Bill Apter, and whatever. So he did a couple of those, which they're on the computer somewhere. I don't have them programmed into the board. But he did. So he's doing like promo from a Walmart parking lot, and then he calls. Then we call again. We set up this interview. And, then I call him and we do this interview, and I'm joking with him because in his book, he talks about his love of karaoke. And I said, listen, I'd love to do karaoke with you sometime. He says, hey, why not right now?
Oh,
and he
wow.
pulls out his phone and he plays the instrumental for My Girl. So me and him are doing impromptu karaoke in the middle of an interview.
That's cool.
And then he calls me up after the interview and he's like, hey, I made a mistake. And it had something to do with Brock Lesnar. He said Brock wasn't wrestling or Brock was doing something, and whatever it was incorrect. And he was like, "Can you take that out?" Yeah, anything for you, Bill. You're a great interview. So I'm playing through this game, and there's this whole like story where you're chasing down a guy. You're going to London. You're going to Tokyo, and to get to Tokyo, you got to talk to wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer, who's very infamous in wrestling circles. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is Dave Meltzer in this game? And then like when you get to Tokyo, Bill Apter pops up and I'm just like, holy shit, it's Bill Apter. And I got like super excited. And if you're on my Twitch, which Dewey is, hi Dewey.
Hi, Dewey.
If you're on my Twitch and I actually made a highlight of that whole entire segment of me talking about Bill Apter. So it's basically everything I just said. But like reactionary to Bill Apter appearing on my screen in RetroFest Wrestling, or Retromania Wrestling rather, which I was like, yeah, I was very excited about that game coming out. And
Yeah, you've been waiting a minute for that.
they've been working on it for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And like the first wrestlers they signed to the game were some of my favorites, the Blue World Order.
Oh, yeah.
And to a point where it's not over here anymore.
It's over here.
Yeah, to a point where I'm like, you have to play as John Morrison from WWE, who's in the game as Johnny Retro, and it's like, oh, you need to team up with the BWO, and I'm like, team up with the BWO? Yeah. All right, sure, I'm in. Let's do it. So I grabbed the hat, and I grabbed the Blue Meanie autograph, which I think I put back up. Yes, I did. Put the Blue Meanie autograph back up. And it's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like I'm super like, yeah, like I'm not gonna play with like team with the BWO.
Yeah.
So, it's super exciting. Lots of, you got wrestlers from the past, the present, up and coming wrestlers from WWE, AEW, ROH, Impact Wrestling are all in there.
Yeah.
So like, if you like wrestling and you have fond memories like I do of WWF WrestleFest, check out Retromania Wrestling when you get a chance. It is now available on Steam and Xbox One. Should be available on Switch next Tuesday. And they're still working on getting the PS4 version out. And they're also releasing it on a platform called iArcade, which is like an arcade machine you can buy games for.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't know there were that many gaming platforms, to be honest.
And all of these are the old gaming platforms now, because you've got your Xbox Series, you've got your PlayStation 5s. They're talking about the Switch Pro is probably going to be out by the end of the year.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It makes me feel really old.
All kinds of platforms. I've been trying to get my hands. I was this close to buying an Xbox Series S before Tigger had to go to the vet and I had to spend $1,500 on that. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll wait before I get my hands on that, because like they're sold out everywhere. You can't get them. Just the Xbox Series S and Series X, you can't get anywhere. The PlayStation 5, you can't get anywhere. But GameStop was like, well, we're going to get some back in stock, so here's a pre-order link. And I'm like, ooh. But that was the day that Tigger's sitting there with his mouth open. And I'm just like, I can't.
Man.
I better not buy this now.
Good thinking.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Tigger.
Then I went and spent $300 at Revolver, like, the next day. So, yeah, speaking of Tigger.
We had to go learn how to give him an IV this past week.
Yes, we did.
Tomorrow is when we do it without the doctor there. And I'm not nervous. Are you nervous?
No.
I'm totally nervous.
I think you'll do a fantastic job.
I think I will do it. I don't know that I will do a fantastic job.
I think you seem pretty easy. I think you got it.
Yeah, you think you can do it?
No. I don't. You have to do stuff with needles. I got nothing to do with needles. You can. I will sit there and hold the IV back for you. I don't know.
Okay.
Gonna shoot a new things you might not know tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got more lighting.
Yes, he did.
And it's the same lighting we've got up on the desk here. But I got it because I'm like watching like, so last week's video I did the real Ghostbusters that came out on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I shot it twice and I didn't like how it came out either time. One had like a really bright hot spot that was like not keying out. So I'm like, let me do it again. And then I figured out how to get no shadows and everything. I'm like, yeah, okay, this looks good. And then my camera decided it wanted to keep changing color temperatures.
Oh.
So when I noticed that and I'm like trying to key everything out and like one section, it's perfect. And then the next section, it's like, look at all this green. And so I was like, fuck it. And I grabbed my teleprompter and I put it up here where there is no room to put a fucking teleprompter.
No.
So I like turned my TV out of the way, put the teleprompter up, put the green screen up, sat there and reshot the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Just, a third time. And then I started looking up like, okay, I need to find like small room green screen tricks because the prevailing wisdom for shooting green screen is your subject needs to be 8 feet away from the green screen.
It does help, yeah.
I'm shooting in a 10 by 10 room.
Yeah.
Where there is not 10 feet of available space
No.
because there's a desk here, there's a table there, there's a shelf there. Like there's not 10 feet available space anywhere in this room.
No.
Let alone, 8 feet for me to be in front of the green screen and then room for a camera and lights. And
Yeah.
so
how far in front of your green screen can you get?
Maybe a foot.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe 2. So I'm watching some, videos of like, here's how I shoot my green screen videos in a small space. And one guy's got a light right behind him. I'm like, that's actually pretty smart. That will help you get rid of shadows.
Yes.
And then another guy has his lights to shoot his green screen. And then right behind those, he has his lights to light him. So it's just a matter of getting far enough away where you're not in the light that's lighting the green screen.
Yeah.
Which maybe if I put the green screen there and shoot this way,
maybe
might work. I don't know. Gonna have to find out, but I got a great script from Kevin. I'm looking forward to reading it and getting it out on Monday.
Cool.
So
you guys are shooting for every Monday?
We are shooting for every Monday.
That's ambitious.
Well, that's what I was doing before, was every Monday. So there's part of me that's like, we have a list of like just shit that I found in books that I'm like, hey, that sounds interesting. And there's part of me that's kind of like, maybe I should write like 1 or 2 of these just so we have a cushion.
Right.
Like maybe just shoot a couple of them just to have them in the can in case. I have read your script. I just haven't. I meant reading it on camera, shooting it for the for the channel. But part of me is like, maybe I should write some of these, and part of me is like, nah, Kevin's got this. So
I think Kevin's got this.
Yeah.
If Kevin needs help, Kevin will say so.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin?
I don't know. It's just like, look at all like some of these little ones that I've got that are just like, this will make for a good, quick episode to have in the can if something goes wrong and we need an episode or something, I don't know. But no, as long as I told him when we started, I said, man, you can write as many as you want in a week or as little as you want in a week, as long as I've got something to go on Monday.
Right.
So I could get the video up on Monday. So
I probably won't.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Well, we're doing another try for the Rochester music. Well, this one's a Rochester metal episode.
Yes.
So we have 4 songs picked. Well, the bands were picked by Rick Horton of the Metallica Onslaught, who we'll have when we come back from this song. So sorry. Did you guys hear that? That was pretty good. So we have some Rochester metal tonight, and yeah, you guys should listen up to the Rochester metal stuff.
Yes.
Yes, so go ahead and do what you do.
Okay, this is from a Rochester band called Gutted Alive, and this song is called Carver of Flesh on all WNY. The Think So Joe Show. All right, that was Gutted Alive, a song called Carver of Flesh on all WNY Think So Joe Show. Oh,
Wow, that's happening.
it wasn't happening for the listeners.
Oh,
Hey,
okay,
there he
hey.
is. Let me get you in here. Let's hit this button here. Okay.
Okay.
It's now you see us twice on the video chat. Yeah, on the
Hi, Rick.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Good,
How
good.
are you?
Not too bad.
Cool.
We
Are
got-
we tech wise? Are we good here?
Yeah, I mean we just got to get us off the screen twice if he's not
Okay.
gonna video call in. That's cool.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Rick. Well, where do we start? What have you been doing in pandemic times?
Well, since there's been no sort of live music going on, I'm listening to a lot of music in my spare time.
That's
I mean,
good.
it's probably what helps keep my sanity
I hear you.
because like just about every weekend before the pandemic hit, it seemed like there was something going on,
Right.
whether it was Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, Binghamton.
Mm,
You know, I
yeah.
go anywhere and everywhere that I'm available to go. So,
Right. Right. What's okay. So I have like a lot of things I want to touch on with you. Um
okay.
so tell us a little bit about the Metallic Onslaught. That's a radio station, or is it a radio show that you do?
It's a radio show that I'm a part of.
Mhm.
I've been a co-host of the Metallic Onslaught for 23 years.
Holy
Or
shit.
it's coming up on 23 years, April, May, somewhere in there. Not sure of the exact date. Surprisingly, considering all the other stuff that I post is like, hey, this date, this album
Yeah.
came out, and whatever. But yeah, I've been there since '98. I
Okay.
was actually listening to that show while I was in high school,
Wow. That's pretty
and
cool.
there was guys that did it even before our. We have a host named Joe on our show as well, and there was a couple of guys that did it before him. And the show was actually established in 1983,
Wow.
and yeah, I've been there since '98, and it's even like a small piece of the puzzle. It's been a pretty wild ride.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like you guys play some pretty awesome music. Both local and national, am I wrong?
Yeah, we yeah, it's a combination of national and local, and a lot of the times, like being a part of this has kind of helped me grow
Okay.
because when I went into that station, I knew what was popular.
Mhm.
Like I knew what was on the outskirts. Like
Yeah.
the Panteras, the Metallicas, the Slayers.
Mhm.
And getting involved with this kind of helped me get involved a little bit deeper and knowing a little bit more about more metal bands.
Yeah.
So there's never an abundance of stuff not to listen to.
Right. Right. Um, so you've been involved for a long time in the metal scene. What was your first concert?
Um, First concert as far as nationals or as far as like locals?
Ooh, both.
Um, First concert as far as nationals, when I was 14, I went and saw Metallica and Aerosmith and the Black Crowes at Silver Stadium in 1990.
Okay. Joe approves.
And
I would have loved that show.
Yeah.
yeah, I I was 14 years old when I went to that, and there's a lot of people that talk about that show now and saying, "Oh, Metallica only played this many songs and all that." But for me, being 14 and seeing Metallica, I was in my glory.
Oh, I bet.
So whatever the things that they were being picky about didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. What
Um,
about local shows? What was your first local show that you can remember?
so my first experience with before I got into going to local shows, I kind of got my start roadieing for a cover band.
Oh,
I
cool.
wrote I roadied for a cover band called Mulch, and they did the popular radio station at the time was the Nerve out in Rochester,
Okay.
and they played a lot of the stuff that was on that station. And then from there, my first actual experience with local original music was a band called Hate Machine from out of Rochester.
Okay.
Jed Seaver, who ran American Villain, established the company American Villain
Mhm.
Apparel.
Yeah.
he was the vocalist for that band.
Okay.
And I went to their CD release show at the House Guitars in Rochester. And I was blown away I was like, oh my God, we got bands like this that sound this well, like this talented, this close to us,
Yeah.
And I've been able to experience a ton more since then,
Yeah.
all sorts of bands, not even just metal bands.
Mm. Do you have, like, as far as the metal scene in Rochester right now, do you have any favorite bands?
These guys are kind of on the outskirts of Rochester, but there's a band called Invictra.
Okay, yeah.
They're from Leroy, however you say that.
Mm.
And actually, I think the kid from Joe from Nuclear Winter
Yeah.
just joined up with those guys.
Yeah, I think I saw that too. Awesome. He's
So-
a super talented kid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's
Mhm.
not really a
Yeah.
kid anymore. I guess he's.
To
we're
us,
watching-
he's
Yeah.
a kid.
He's a kid to me because he's only 20.
Right,
But-
right.
Very talented at what he does.
He absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a few favorites, Order of the Dead,
Okay.
Sulaco, Gutted Alive, Fox 45.
Mm.
And there's like a ton of other really good ones. Gates of Paradox, Shadowborn.
Was there
Yeah,
anybody that, like, right before quarantine hit, anybody that you were like, damn, they're about to take off, like, this is what we need to be watching out for?
Well, this is actually for me, outside of the metal realm. I was watching a reggae kind of jam blues band
Nice.
called Root Shock out of Syracuse.
Okay.
And they played around. I saw them in Auburn and I saw them in Rochester a few times, and I was blown away by that. And I actually had somebody else from a metal band say, this is one of my favorite non-metal bands.
That's awesome.
And I've kind of been on that journey for the last few years because every once in a while I need that break from banging my head off the wall.
Yeah.
I can't be listening to Dimmu and Meshuggah 24/7 or else I'll
Right.
go crazy.
Right. You might give yourself some whiplash.
Yeah.
It's always kind of fun
But-
to stand with the metal guys and while watching a band that's distinctly not metal, and they're like, man, these guys are really good.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like metal fans really appreciate music for the musicality, instead of, I don't know, like punk fans are more like what you're saying and like it's good if it's bad. I don't know.
Yeah. I know growing up in the 80s and the early 90s, a lot of the parents back in the day, it was either satanic or it was noise. To their ears, it was either satanic or it was noise.
I had the benefit
And-
of like growing up in the like late 90s. So whenever I would play like heavy metal heavy metal CDs or whatever, my mom would be like, turn this garbage off. And I'm like, mom, no, Garbage is a different band. This isn't Garbage. This is Slipknot.
You're a smart ass.
One of the my fondest moments was listening to Strength Beyond Strength by Pantera. I was at my grandparents' house, and my grandmother came out in the kitchen while it was playing. And obviously, me and her didn't hear the same song. The look on her face was the most priceless thing that I had ever seen. She's like, "You listen to that?" I was like, "Uh-huh." And that she didn't understand it, but she dealt with it.
That's awesome. So what about venues? What's your favorite Rochester venue right now? Like, well, pre-pandemic.
Well, the two main ones that I went to a lot were the Bug Jar and the Montage.
Mhm.
And to me, both have their good qualities.
Mm.
I love the Bug Jar because it's more punk rock and in your face.
Mm.
And I love the Montage because, you know, going there to watch a national show, like the last two really big national bands that I watched at the Montage that I can recall were Allegiant, and I watched Ginger.
Mm.
And the shows did pretty well. The Ginger one was sold out,
Right.
so it was hard to move in there.
I bet.
And then Allegiant had a pretty good crowd for being like death metal stuff.
Mm.
And you know that I've seen that place grow over the years too, because there was a while where shows were hit or miss, even, you know, for like big national shows.
Yeah. Yeah, we've grown to like Montage. It's got some sentimental value. Our first real date was at Montage.
Yeah.
And yeah, like just in the time that, you know, we have spent there, like tech wise, it's gotten so much better.
Oh yeah.
You know, the thing I don't like about Montage is the fucking floor hurts your back. And that's I mean, I know I'm an old lady saying that, but geez, how did we used to do that when we were like 15, 16? That didn't even phase us.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know what you're saying as far as like the old thing goes, because Gutted Alive, the band that you just played, when I had my 42nd birthday party, I threw it at F&A's in Waterloo, and I went in the pit while they were playing. I knew everybody in the pit, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going for it. And I felt 19 when I went in, but I definitely felt 42 or older when I woke up.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't been in a pit since, oh my goodness. I want to say college, really. I think the last time I was in a mosh pit, like really in it, was Goat Whore in Orlando, and I actually have a scar on my eye from that. It was really fun, what I remember of it, but I was in college. I was a little intoxicated.
I think the last time I was in like a full blown like heavy metal mosh pit was at like the American Legion STEM shows back in like their rap metal phase.
Of course, you're lingering on the rap metal.
My first Dreadnecks experience was at the Montage.
Oh, was it?
Yep. That was my first time ever seeing those guys. A buddy of mine, Jerry, put on a show out there, and I want to say I'm From the Government band played, and then Dreadnecks played. And then there were the other bands were Rochester bands. And Dreadnecks just blew me away. They were so outside of the box, and that's what made me love those guys, is that they didn't sound like anybody else. Nobody sounds like them.
No,
it's true.
You know,
I think it goes without saying that you always remember your first Dreadnecks experience.
Yeah,
mine was at the Rockin' Buffalo in West Seneca here, and like by the end of the set, Grant was in his underwear, bleeding, just like, and then he's like standing there in his underwear, bleeding, talking to me, and whoever else was on there was somebody else I knew. It was one of Buffalo Joe's shows. He's standing there talking to the two of us, and he's just, I'm just like, dude, you know you're bleeding. He's like, oh, am I? Okay, cool. Anyway, so
yeah, shortly after that, they came and they played on the Last Exit. And there's video of that on YouTube. They've actually played Last Exit twice. And then I had them play a couple of shows at F&A's. And the first show that they did at F&A's, he put himself through a table.
Oh, my God.
I've definitely seen Grant go through a table a time or two. But usually it's with Drew from The Long Cold Dark. They're putting each other through tables.
Yeah, but they're probably, as of right now, they're probably one of the most fun bands for me to watch.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All the shows are fun that I go to, but there's just something about them. I remember bringing them to Finger Lakes Metal Fest, and they were the band that closed out the Friday evening of the year that they played. And I kind of anticipated what it was going to be like, and it actually lived up to expectation.
We saw them at Music is Art 2019. It was a weekend that I had my daughters. So it's like, she's got to come with us. And so she came to Music is Art, and the Dreadnecks were playing one of the outdoor stages, and Grant's out in the crowd, and he's doing the, rum ticky ticky tom ticky. And like later in the day, she's like, yeah, that singer of that band scared me.
Yeah.
And I messaged Grant immediately. I'm like, dude, my daughter just said you scared her. He's like, job well done.
I almost think Dreadnecks played 2 shows that day, because they did something in Buffalo, and then they came and played for me that night at Montage.
Oh.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Wow. The amount of energy that they put into a show, I can't imagine doing 2 in one day.
Yeah, they and like they were kind of feeling down in the dumps when they came there. I don't know why, but I was like, dude, there's people here that were telling me they paid their money because you guys were playing.
Nice.
They didn't really know the other bands, so they were coming because Dreadnecks were playing. I was like, so maybe you'll feel better after playing the show. And they played, and of course, that's how it went down.
That's awesome.
The first time I saw Green Jello played, and then Dreadnecks went on, and Dreadnecks played till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and like barely anybody left.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Dreadnecks are just that good of a band to see live. If anybody hasn't seen them, as soon as this is all over and we could get back to shows and everything, go see the Dreadnecks as soon as you can.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
And actually, that Music is Art show, believe it or not, was the first time that I saw the Dreadnecks. And my favorite part was Madison's reaction, because she was terrified, but she was trying to play it cool because she's a 16-year-old girl. It was great. It was pretty great. So, the Buffalo and Rochester music scenes, they overlap quite a bit. We try to, do show swaps and play each other's venues and stuff like that. What is like a collaboration between Rochester and Buffalo bands that you might have seen that put on a really good show together, or did a tour together, or anything like that, that you were just like, damn, Rochester and Buffalo need to be doing stuff together?
I remember one of the first times that I've seen the death metal band Seplophile live. They came to Rochester and they played a show with Order of the Dead, and they worked really well together. Like that was like an intense night, because I think it was pretty much all death metal bands.
Okay.
So it's like adrenaline personified after the night's done, but just all the bands together worked very well, and I wanted to see more of it.
Yeah. Very cool. Cool.
It's definitely something that I think that there should be more of, like collaborations between not just per se Rochester, Buffalo, but we have so many talented bands around the surrounding areas in New York. If you want to play to different people, don't want to play the same venues all the time.
Yeah.
Swap out shows and go to the other towns and cities and all that.
Definitely. And any excuse to kind of travel throughout New York. I mean, we have some beautiful things in New York, like out near the Finger Lakes and, I don't know, the mountains. And we have all kinds of places to hike, Niagara Falls. Like we have some good shit in New York. There's no reason not to go and travel and see it.
I don't know if you guys have been to Ithaca before, but Ithaca's got a lot of beautiful stuff too.
I've been through Ithaca, but I don't think I've actually stopped there. But yeah, I've definitely heard that about Ithaca. I've seen the bumper stickers that say Ithaca is gorgeous. Yeah.
There's a lot of trails and stuff to see out there. Trails and waterfalls and all sorts of things.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, now you say it's not just Rochester, Buffalo. It's also, like Syracuse and out that way, Do you have some favorite Buffalo bands or Syracuse bands or anybody that you think we should be looking out for when the world opens back up?
Well, this band probably leans more along the style of commercial hard rock per se. There's a female-fronted band out of the Binghamton Endicott area called Drama Scream.
Okay.
What they
played them
do, they
before,
do
I
very
think so,
well. You know, I'm not much on modern rock, but there's something that they do that catches my attention.
Yeah.
You know, they just something that they do well
Mhm.
that catches my attention. And I think, you know, with the right sort of person or backing behind them, they could probably go far,
Excellent.
you know? I
And-
mean, I kind of believe that the days of the Guns N' Roses Metallica record contracts are probably done.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
it's if you see some of these touring musicians go through town, like they're at a struggle. You know, they're like,
Right.
put tips in our jar, you know, or you know, at the merch table or what have you, you know, because a lot of those bands, like the touring funds that they get probably aren't what they used to be, or maybe they never were that, and it's just, you know, the people's perception of, oh, you're in a band, you're signed, you have money.
Right. Right.
That's not always the case.
No, that that would be cool, wouldn't it?
One of my best friends charted on Billboard, and I wouldn't think he's. I don't think he's rich. So
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So that's very true. When you went to see Aquabats with MC Lars, and wasn't MC Lars just hanging out like?
Yeah, he was hanging out.
He
as
was
merch.
his own merch guy,
but he was also his own like roadie. He was setting up his own banner and
Yeah.
everything. So like, yeah, I mean, and that guy's been on the scene for years.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows who MC Lars is.
You know, I almost want to say that my friend Tim Christ has played shows with him before. He's got like a video game music styled band called Worm Quartet. It's just him. It's like him and his MP3 player. He does vocals, and the MP3 player or CD player plays the music behind him, and it is entertaining and funny. He was actually he was a co-host on our show for a while.
Yeah, that's definitely something MC Lars would play with.
I could see that.
He's like an early pioneer of what we now call like nerdcore.
Nerdcore, yeah.
And so, but yeah, that's definitely the kind of show he'd be on, and he plays Rochester far more than he plays Buffalo.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before.
I want to say he did something at the Bug Jar within the last couple of years, and my friend Tim had played that show.
That's awesome.
Either played that show or he was there in attendance.
That's probably accurate. He actually did a live stream, Lars did, after that show, and he was driving up the road with whoever he was on tour with, and they were talking about why don't you ever play Buffalo? Why do you always play Rochester? And it's because I guess like the college radio stations in Rochester really play a lot of MC Lars's music. So he's like, we got to go where the music is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's not Buffalo. That's Rochester for our genre of music. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's weird because I hear two different sides of the spectrum per se, because I hear the guys in Rochester say that they'd rather play Buffalo, and then I hear the bands in Buffalo say that they'd rather play Rochester.
Being in a Buffalo band, I will play anywhere, anytime. So let's do this.
Yep.
Do you rather go to shows in Rochester, Buffalo, or any of the other areas?
Well, Rochester is convenient for driving distance.
Right.
But Buffalo, to me, just my personal opinion, has superior venues.
Okay.
But I have nothing against any of the Rochester venues at all.
Right,
It's
right.
just, I don't know. I've been to Buffalo for shows quite a few times. Town Ballroom is my favorite place to watch national shows.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you there. I worked at Town Ballroom very briefly, and I don't think I really went there until I worked there. And now, you know, it's just it's the best venue in town, I think.
Yeah, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
That's how I met you, was the Dimmu concert.
The Dimmu brochure. Oh my God. So you guys, I'm taking a minute to tell everybody how Rick and I met. So I was working doors at a ska concert at Club Diablo. So that tells you how long ago this was. It was a holiday themed ska show, and I was dressed like a Christmas elf. Why not? And then my friend was at Town Ballroom. Karina, oh my God, there's this awesome concert going on. You got to come here. I'll buy your ticket. Oh my God. So I left what I was doing. I left Mad Dog. I left Club Diablo, and I came to Town Ballroom. And I got shit-faced, and I was in the front row, and I was dressed like a Christmas elf, and everybody else was dressed in black. And after the show, I can't imagine I was going to my car because I was drunk. So I don't know where the hell I was going.
Club Diablo, I think.
We did end up back at Club Diablo. So I ran into you. And I think you and a friend had concert flyers.
Yep.
And so you guys gave me a flyer. I really think, like, out of all the memories I have of that night, you guys giving me a flyer is the most vivid memory left. But also, well, there was another vivid memory, but we won't talk shit about people. So that was a great show. Dimmu Borgir, they actually ended up coming to Club Diablo and having some beers with me and my friend. And I don't know who opened that show. I got there just in time for Dimmu Borgir.
Enslaved, Blood Red Throne, and then there was another, like, an industrial black metal band that opened up. That I can't remember the name of.
Okay. I'm pretty impressed that you remember all those, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, 11 years.
Wow. Both of us have come a long way in 11 years, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you're not going to find me downtown Buffalo shit-faced anymore. And I know we're not going to find you shit-faced anywhere either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 years sober, 7.5 just about.
Congratulations. That's great. Yeah, so I don't know, any closing thoughts about the music and metal community in central Western New York?
So there are a few things coming up. Drama Scream is playing Binghamton on Friday, and I'm actually going to be hosting that show.
Very cool.
It feels good to be being involved in local music again, because it's been over a year since I've seen a show.
Yeah, just stay safe about it,
Yep. Mask up, and there is a capacity limit. I think it's like 150 people.
Okay.
And the place usually holds like 500, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're going to that, and then the band Invictra is going to be playing in May on the 8th at the Montage.
Okay.
And I think there's capacity limits for that.
Okay.
But when it comes back, support it to the fullest.
Absolutely.
Because these guys are going to need your attention.
Absolutely. Well, Rick, thank you so much for your time today. We're going to play some more music. This is your pick. This is Rick's pick.
Well, they're all Rick's picks.
Well,
this
they're all
week,
Rick's picks, but this was the one that he asked for. So,
okay.
I don't know how to pronounce that band name. Do you?
Is it Sulaco?
Sulaco.
You were close.
I was close.
Yeah,
a lot of those band names where we don't know for sure how to pronounce them until we're told. So.
Just a real quick history lesson on these guys. Eric Burke is the lead guy to this band, and he used to jam in a band called Lethargy with the dudes from Mastodon that were from Rochester, Braun and Bill.
Wow.
So Sulaco is Eric Burke's project. He used to do guitar and lead vocals, and now he's doing backing vocals and guitar, and they've got a different lead vocalist who sounds just like Eric Burke. And Eric Burke on the side does a Neil Diamond cover band, and he sounds exactly like Neil Diamond.
That is
This is
far
coming
out.
from a guy who plays like avant-garde death metal. And
Yeah,
he can sound
wow.
like Neil Diamond. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
So thank you guys for having me.
Thank you
for your
so
time.
much.
Been
We'll
awesome.
stay in touch.
Thanks, Rick. Have
Have
a
a
great
good night,
day.
guys.
You
You
too.
too. All right, and this is Sulaco, and this, did I say that right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Sulaco, and this song is called Cut Up on all WNY. Think So Joe Show. That was Sulaco, song called Cut Up on all WNY Think So Joe Show. Big thanks to Rick Horton for his time today to sit in and chat with us for a bit. I thought we were going to do a video chat. That's why you saw like two of us.
Yeah.
And then I'm like trying to figure out, like, I was trying to set it up so it would be like on the phone, Rick Horton, but I couldn't see all of the graphics. So I'm like, I don't want to put this up and then there's a picture of Mindy Davy. But we're talking to Rick Horton. Like, I changed the name to Rick Horton, and it's just like I don't know how this is gonna go. Our next scheduled guest,
Yes. 2 weeks from now, right?
2 weeks from now, Brian will be our guest.
That's awesome.
He is releasing new music under the B. Lee Muller name.
Okay.
And it's a project he's been working on for quite a while now.
It's pretty different from what we've grown to expect from Brian.
I've gotten to hear a song from it. I actually
I have too.
kind of inspired the music video for it.
Aren't you something?
He reached out to me. He's like, "Here's my song. What do you think I should do for a video?" And I like threw something together. I'm like, "Dude, this is what I'm picturing in my head." And he was like, "Where'd you get that footage?" And I'm like, "Here's where I got the footage." He's like, "Cool." And then I saw the video, and it's like, hey, there, I recognize some of this footage. Yeah, so Brian is actually doing we haven't done one of these in a couple of years now. We're doing a takeover episode with Brian. Brian is taking over the Think So Joe show.
So it's going to be like old times.
He's going to play 4 songs off of his new album.
That's great.
Yeah, he's not going to bump the desk and move the camera around.
I'm not going to bump the desk either.
Anyway, so that's coming up in 2 weeks on April 7th.
Okay.
I'll be wearing a wrestling t-shirt that night. That's wrestling t-shirt week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the week of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And you've got events. I want to talk about an event, though. An event from, let's see, it's so 15 years ago?
Oh my God, what?
Am I doing my math right here? No, I'm not, because that would put us, 15 would be 2006. So 25 years ago tomorrow was my first concert.
Oh my God, old man.
25 years ago tomorrow will be is when I saw Metallica and Corrosion of Conformity at KeyBank Center, my first mainstream concert.
Very good.
I was seeing local bands for a couple of years before that, but that was my first like big concert
That's very cool.
at what's now KeyBank Center. It was then the Marine Midland Arena. I believe the scoreboard was still intact at that point.
God.
Before the scoreboard came crashing to the ice, because I think that happened in between my first Metallica show, which was 25 years ago tomorrow, and then like between then and the first Marilyn Manson show I went to, which was the Mechanical Animals tour back before we weren't saying fuck this guy.
Right.
Nick,
Ooh, what does Nick Landers say?
Nick gets his second COVID shot on the 7th, and then Inherent Vice is in the studio on the 8th and the 9th.
Hopefully you feel okay on the 8th and the 9th, because I hear the second shot kind of is rougher.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it would affect, much like the virus itself, would affect everybody differently. So
That's true.
we'll have to see.
That's true.
Hopefully,
Well, good luck, Nick.
Yeah, hopefully it's a very symptom and pain-free experience for you, bud.
Yeah. I was thinking of Nick the other day, and I messaged him. And I was thinking of him because I was pooping. And
we had this guy, we didn't talk about this on the air, but we talked about this.
Well,
yes.
I was thinking about, for some reason, I was thinking about squatty potties, where they, like, it's a little stool that positions you can put your feet up, and it helps you go easier. And
it puts you in a squatting position,
it's the natural pooping position. Like, toilets aren't in nature, if you didn't notice.
right.
So Nick has one, and I was like, damn, I wish I could borrow this right now. And so I messaged Nick from the toilet, and now he's listening to the show, and I'm really glad that he is. We've missed you, Nick.
Yeah, we had a conversation. You told me that story, and I was like, could you imagine if we had the squatty potty and the bidet? Like,
We would be squeaky clean, have the easiest poops.
this would be like the poop destination for all
You
our
got
friends.
poop? Come on over, guys.
I know we had Astrabula and his girlfriend, his fiance over the other day, and
Yeah.
you were trying to convince her to use to
Yes.
poop because
Yes.
she had to use the bathroom.
She was so cute. She's like, do you have a bathroom I could use? Like, so polite and so sweet. I'm like, not only do we have a bathroom, we also have a bidet. So if you have to poop.
Astrabula goes, hey, can I see your studio? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we came back here, and I'm showing him the studio, and I'm showing him, and he's asking me about the mics, and I'm saying, I got these mics because they go with this board, and I'm like showing him the board, and I didn't realize, I didn't think about it until like after they had left, that the song Bomb Pop Vodka, easy for me to say, was still programmed into the board when I was showing it to him. I could have just hit the button and been like, yeah, I could do stuff like this, and hit the button, and we've been drinking, Bob. But yeah, he got the tour of the studio. He got the tour of the guitar room over there.
Yeah.
I guess, Madison's room, but he got to see my guitars and all the ukuleles and the basses.
Yeah.
He was super excited about that. He's like, man, you got more guitars than I do. I'm like, I feel like that's an accomplishment.
And then we all migrated to the kitchen and ate cookies.
Yes.
And it was just so nice to be around people. Jasmine was here.
Yeah.
Noah and Molly came over. Molly brought me a mask that has some of her artwork printed on it. And it's beautiful. We traded for cookies, which is great because that's the currency that I know. And it was so great to be around people. It's just been so long. And they were our people, you know?
You're over here using Astrabula's shoot name. Called him Noah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I go by his Facebook name.
I mean, it took. I had to make a conscious effort not to say Noah because I know that's his real name, but his professional name is Astrobula.
He. Yes.
Anyway.
Anyways. So there's some events coming up.
Yes.
Because the world is starting to open back up slowly
Yes.
but surely.
Yes.
So, yes.
By
So
the way,
right now,
Kevin and Nikki have both Squatty Potty and the bidet.
well,
They were the inspiration for us getting a
happy
bidet.
buttholes to Nikki and Kevin. Okay, so right now, Shutdown Showcase Week 7 bonus round is going on. Tonight they're doing some kind of showcase. I think it's tonight and last night, or tonight and tomorrow night. I'm not sure, but it's Week 7, the bonus round. I don't think this is actually competition. I think this is just like, the leftover artists. And there's some pretty great, like, intense competition. If you go to the Band Together Buffalo website or Facebook or whatever, you can see who's made it to the next rounds. And let's see, we got Tokyo Monsters, we got Grizzly Run, Grub. Who else has made it to the... You don't know. You don't know. You haven't seen any of these. But yeah, it's going to be great. We also have going on right now through, I don't know how long, probably a few months, at the Buffalo Museum of Science, Medieval to Metal is a guitar exhibit. Our dear Brooke and Max went and said that it was awesome. So, what?
Did they bring Totes My Goats?
I don't think Totes went. I don't think Totes is the most graceful creature. I don't think he should really be around breakables.
He was right up in John Oliver's face. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So then tomorrow we have Tommy's Acoustic Experience at the Critchen in West Seneca. That starts at 7. We also have Grosh at the Trelf tomorrow at 7. Friday, this looks fun. How do you say his last name?
Which one am I looking
Bruce.
at? Bruce Wojcik.
Wojcik. So Friday at 8, Bruce Wojcik and The Struggle with 77 Stone, which is his son's band, as well as Michael Delano's band. We love Michael Delano. And this is a rescheduled show. This is the new date. So that's really encouraging because the stuff that got canceled and rescheduled is starting to happen. That's really cool.
That is exciting.
So hopefully everybody follows safety protocol and we can keep doing this shit.
I think, to be fair, some of these bands never actually stopped playing out.
This is true.
Not knocking them.
Mixed feelings about this.
Not knocking them if they felt safe and they felt like their fan base were safe.
And if they didn't get people sick, that's fine with me. But I wouldn't feel safe.
To be fair, the Living Brain Dead were booked to play at Rapids in like November.
Right, that is true.
The only reason that didn't happen is because Rapids refused to sell tickets to people and then claimed that there weren't any ticket sales.
Yeah, that happened. So then Saturday at 8, Johnny Hart and the Mess are at the Trelf. That's another one of the rescheduled shows. So then Saturday at 3, Rabbit Jaw is at Sportsman's. So there's some shit going on, you guys. If you feel good, if you've had your vaccine, you're wearing a mask, social distancing, there's capacity limits and shit like that. But, you can catch a little bit of live music now.
Yeah. And that's cool. And you can probably still catch live streams, I'm sure. You can. Yeah,
some of these were also online.
Yeah.
I don't remember which ones because I didn't write it down.
Go back and watch live anywhere. The live stream we threw together in 3 days after that show got canceled.
Right. That was really fun.
I watched it last night. As a matter of fact, I put it on and I'm like, let me watch the remastered version that we did for the Satanic Temple.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I can hear what's going on now in between songs,
Were you happy with it?
Yeah, I mean, the video quality could have been better, but that was the best
That's
quality I was
true.
getting at the time.
We've learned since then.
We've learned since then. We've got better gear since then. We've got better equipment to handle video streaming since then, mostly because we're doing this. So like we got the new camera and I wanted to get back into things you might not know. So I got the new camera and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
and the streaming, like the HDMI capture cards and all that stuff. So, next time it'll look better. It'll sound better. We got a mixer in the studio now. So, or in the, not in the studio, but in John's room.
So Nick Lander says outdoor shows, Joe, gotta happen.
Yeah.
I have been thinking, especially after having Astrobula, not Noah. Noah was somewhere else. Astrobula over. I had the epiphany that there is no reason that we don't have Porch Fest style porch shows, and put lawn chairs in the front yard and entertain, I mean, it would be for like 2 or 3 people, but like that would be a really fun thing to do. Just have an acoustic guitar in the porch. I don't know. It would kind of remind me of back in the day for me. I don't know. We should do that. We're gonna have the ThinkSoJoE porch. ThinkSoJoE porch show. I don't know. I'll think of something clever.
I'm sure our neighbors will love that.
I mean, that's why I'm saying an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Not plugging in. And then when the neighbors complain, we can just fucking go inside.
Yeah.
Hope no one's allergic to cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just noticed that Mom hasn't been in the chat.
Ooh, Mom has not. Your mom has not been in the chat. My mom liked the stream.
Hi, Moms.
Yeah. So Brian bought a Garfield calendar, thinking it was a 2021 Garfield calendar, and posted about it yesterday, saying, "Oh, I went to put up this calendar and I realized it's a 2020 calendar. That year keeps coming back to me," and I'm like, "I got you." And I've been taking pictures of Whisper and like putting little thought bubbles on and like putting them up on his wall. Like, here you go.
It's pretty great.
With like the date.
Yeah,
So,
you should put those up on Whisper's Twitter.
I should.
Whisper
Whisper was kind of mad the other night on Twitter
because somebody had Poopa's number.
because the goalie, the backup goalie, the backup goalie that the Sabres had in net was wearing number 31, which is Darren Poopa's number. And somebody had asked, like, "Oh, who's your favorite Sabre to ever wear 31?" And of course, I replied, "I'm like, I'm partial to Steve Shields myself, but my cat."
What's the story? Why does Whisper like Poopa?
Because his name has poop in it.
Oh, it's just fun to say.
Yeah,
It is fun to say.
Whisper poops, so he likes Darren Poopa.
Whisper pees more than Whisper poops.
Yeah, but he poops.
And he teaches the other cats how to pee.
Yeah, anyway, your mom's here.
Hi, Mom.
She's acknowledging that she's
know.
here. And
I'm glad you're
she's
here,
now in
Mom.
the chat.
Good thing.
Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, that's the story. Is like, oh, he poops, and his name and the guy's name's Darren Poopa, so that's why Whisper's favorite hockey player is Darren Poopa. It is in his Twitter bio, and literally the last tweet at Whisper the Cat. The last tweet he posted was, "Who is this imposter wearing number 31?"
Whisper has more Twitter followers than I do, I think.
Well, I mean, Purina told him he was adorable on Twitter, so
He is adorable, and he's goddamn lucky he is.
yeah.
He'd be out on his ass.
Yeah.
He has no manners.
Nope. Yeah, Purina's told him he's adorable. It's in his bio.
He doesn't even eat Purina.
He updated his bio. He updated his bio because he had the wrong. He had Purina's old Twitter handle, so he updated it now. Oh, Rick says thanks again. That was fun. He chimed in on
Nice.
Skype. That's what that little whoop was. If you heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was great. It's always great to have guests. It's always fun.
It
We
is.
always have a good time as long as the guests are like, into the interview.
Right.
I've definitely in the course of me interviewing people over the last like 10 years or so, I have
Yeah.
definitely had certain people who may or may not wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling, who may or may not be in the Bullet Club, who may or may not be really good friends with the guy who hooked me up with the interview, who weren't that great of interviews.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, yeah, so, you know, this happened and this happened, this happened, so tell me about this. Yeah, that happened on this day, and yeah. Like, aren't you like the NWA, like, world's junior heavyweight champion over here? And you're insisting I said you're the NWA junior heavyweight champion. You're telling me it's world's junior heavyweight champion on social media. But when you get on the interview, you're giving me one-word answers, dude. What the fuck?
Right. Have some charisma. Somebody
ought to chase that guy away. Anyway, anybody who watches New Japan Pro Wrestling just automatically now knows who I'm talking about. So that one's for you, Nick. Anyway.
You knew you came here for a reason, Nick. Nick, I just want to cordially invite you over to pet our cats and use our bidet.
That's a good reason to come over.
I'll make tacos. We'll make sure you need it.
Yeah. That's a really good reason to come over.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Nick says that Inherent Vice is doing stuff. That's really exciting.
Cool. That's cool.
I can't wait to see the finished products.
Can't wait till most bands are back doing stuff.
I know. Well,
I love Inherent Vice, and I think they just keep getting better and better and better and better, and I always say that. And I'm looking forward to whatever they do now. Now that you know, a lineup change or two here, and aren't we friends with their new drummer?
Yeah,
Mr. Bill Nelson.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, we love him.
So I think that's going to be a fantastic addition, and I think they're just still going to get better and better as they do. And I'm looking forward to whatever they're doing, but I'm also looking forward to like more bands getting back together and getting stuff written and out there, and especially mine.
Well, it seems like a lot of bands have definitely taken advantage of time for writing, time for recording, and now it's time to play, to promote those, you know, that music that they've been writing and harboring. And I'm really excited to see what people have been working on. And, you know, starting with Brian's takeover on the 7th.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what he's doing.
Regarding one-word interviews, Rick says, I had an interview like that with Dez from Devil Driver. Made me less of a fan after that fact. We did it when the show that used to be in this time slot, we did an interview with a national band. I can't think of their name. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a long time ago that I can't think of their name. And, you know, the host of the show, he's like, yeah, so you know, you got any crazy road stories? He goes, I saw a dead body once.
What the fuck?
And he goes, tell me about that. He's like, no.
Oh my God.
Or like just didn't have any like details to provide. Like, how do you? Sure, dude, whatever. Yeah, I like, you know, if you're going to get interviewed, have something to say. I mean, like, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
I saw a dead body once. Oh my God.
And then did not want to elaborate or follow up on that further. That was the extent
to sit there
of
and
it.
Bask in his trauma. I saw a dead body once.
That was the extent of it. And I wish I remember the name of the band, but that was so long ago.
Too.
It was a national though. They were coming to town or whatever, and you know, we used to bring in. We should do this more often. We should try and get nationals on the show when they're coming to town. Because I know like MC Lars wants to come on.
Oh, that would be so fun.
And I next time he's in Rochester or Buffalo or whatever, we just gotta give him a little bit of a heads up.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, do you want to come on this date and promote your show in Buffalo, Rochester, whatever? Mm. Because I've interviewed Lars before. He's a great interview, and like I had no intent of this whatsoever, but the host of the show that used to be in this time slot was like, can you bust a freestyle for us? And Lars just instantly comes up with a freestyle.
That's so cool.
And it's just like, man, I got to get this guy on this show.
Yeah.
So it's more, you know, it's because I love MC Lars, and I think it'll be a great interview and a great segment on the show. But I mean, yeah, I think that's something we should do more often, is try and get nationals when they're coming to town. Yeah. Like, hey, come on, you wanna talk about it? We'll give you.
Well, the big problem is that we can't really play their music.
True. That's
like we had Cooley Ranks on here, and we couldn't play his fucking music that he was touring for.
True. We also did Jackknife Stiletto.
That was before my time.
That was before you were here, but we had Jackknife Stiletto coming in for one of the Halloween shows, and we had Annie. She called in from work.
Oh shit!
To do an interview with us. She's working. She's bartending.
Oh wow!
And we can't play her music because she's signed.
Yeah.
So it's like this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Oh well. But it was a fun interview, and we had fun. It was a fun show that they were on, and
yeah,
I
remember the show.
Yeah, the show was great. Okay. Anyway, it's time for some more music.
Already?
Yeah. Oh, we were just talking about Jackknife, and that's a female-fronted band, and so is this. This is
Yeah.
Fox 45.
Another one of Rick's picks.
And this song is called Awake in the Dark on all WNY Think So Joe Show. Any second. That was Fox 45 on all WNY Think So Joe Show. I really dig that band.
Fuck yeah.
I liked that. I was like, after I recorded that into the board, I'm like, I should listen to more of this, but I got to record the next song too. I have other stuff to do.
Yeah, so that's a 4-piece band, and out of the 4 pieces, 3 of them are chicks.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. You don't see
No.
more than one chick in a band usually. I mean, Jackknife Stiletto, obviously.
Right.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
seems like sometimes like you can't get that many
Grosh.
chicks together. Right. You can't get that many average chicks together and have it be good news. You know,
Right.
we get a little catty sometimes.
It's like that old Al Bundy joke. Like don't try to understand women, son. Women understand women, and they hate each other.
It's true.
Anyway,
So what you got there, Joe? Mail call.
I went and I grabbed the mail in between the song break there. I have, inspired by my best friend, because he posted, you posted about jelly beans.
I do this.
He said, "Oh, we have Jelly Belly." I'm like, I miss Jelly Belly.
Yeah.
And then I went and I got 6 pounds of Jelly Belly.
Thank you.
6 pounds of Jelly Belly. 6 pounds of Jelly Belly. Yeah, I might have went overboard. I wanted free shipping.
We didn't go overboard at all. You get 4 pounds.
I wanted free shipping. I was gonna order. They had like they had the 2-pound bags on clearance for like $10, and it's like, dude, you can't get 2 pounds of Jelly Belly for $2 anymore.
No, you get the little bags.
You used to be able to get like a pound for like $5, and that price has just gone up and up and up.
Yeah.
And that was like buying them in bulk.
Yeah.
And back then, you could just pick whatever flavors you wanted. You weren't
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
with the 49 flavor combos.
Fucking butter popcorn. Huh.
Oh, the buttered popcorn are the best.
Oh, you can have mine.
They're the
Toasted
best.
marshmallow? No.
Toasted marshmallow are okay.
Ew.
You know, you can. There's recipes. You can actually combine some of these.
Yes.
So you can. I think it's like, let me see here. What do we got? The A&W cream soda, and there's like one of the orange ones,
Oh, yeah, and it makes like a
and it's like a creamsicle flavor. Yeah. Oh,
Caramel
it's
corn,
the
that
best.
sounds gross. Chocolate pudding sounds gross.
Oh,
Cappuccino.
Chocolate pudding tastes exactly like chocolate pudding.
I don't know if Tutti Frutti, I think that's my favorite.
Do you like chocolate pudding? Like if I were to make
Yes,
chocolate
but
pudding,
part
would
of-
you eat it?
Of course. But part of what I like about pudding is the texture.
Okay, but it's like eating chocolate pudding. It tastes exactly the same, except it's in jelly bean form. So, yeah. Only
What
6.
nonsense is Ashton dealing out here?
Only 6? Why not 7? Okay, because they're in 2-pound bags.
Yes.
The 2-pound bags were on clearance for $10.
Basic mathing.
And so I'm like, I should get a 2-pound bag. And then it was like, well, you know, if you spend $25, you get free shipping. And I'm like, well, shit. Like, I don't want to spend $30, but at the same time, if I spend $30, then I don't got to pay for shipping.
Well, what a good way to spend 30
and I
bucks.
get 4 more pounds of Jelly Belly.
Yes.
So why not 8? Because I didn't want to spend that much money.
Ashton, you smartass.
I spent $60 yesterday on a Weird Al Yankovic record.
Oh, yeah.
So we're watching Name That Tune.
We're always watching Name That Tune now.
I love that. Well, I got 1 episode left to get through, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
So we're watching it, and they're playing. It was a song by Foreigner, or no? Was it by Foreigner or Chicago?
They definitely played Foreigner. I don't know if that's the song.
You know what? It was Foreigner. And I Want to Know What Love Is. Was that what it was?
I think so, yeah.
So they're playing I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner. I'm like, yeah, it's I Want to Know What Love Is. And neither of them got it.
These two contestants.
Oh, they were fucking
Where
stupid.
the fuck did they find these guys?
They were terrible. But anyway, so we're sitting there like, oh man, these guys are terrible. I'm like, I have this. I'm pretty sure I have this song on vinyl. So I went on Discogs on my phone.
Yeah.
To see if I indeed had that song on vinyl, and I do. It's on the album Agent Provocateur, which I have for whatever reason. And so I'm looking this up, and I'm like, I had like 8 notifications from Discogs. I'm like, let me click on this, and the very first notification is you have 2 items from your want lists for sale. And I'm like, wait, 2? There's usually 1, and it's this $88 copy of Weird Al Yankovic's Alpocalypse. And I'm like, I'm not spending $88 on this album. but I've also seen it go for like 100, for like 200. And I'm just like, I can't spend that much on a Weird Al Yankovic record.
Yeah.
I love Weird Al. It's the last like wide release in the US vinyl of Weird Al that I need to get. Because I've got everything from Weird Al Yankovic to Polka Party, and then I've got Mandatory Fun. So the only one I needed that had a widespread US release was Alpocalypse.
Okay.
And by the time I started thinking about I need to buy Alpocalypse, the price had already started going up to like 75, 80, 85, 100, you know? And so I've had it in my want list for the longest time, and every single day it pops up with a notification, one new item in your want list, $88, Weird Al Yankovic Alpocalypse. Like, I'm not spending that. So when I saw 2 new items in my want list, I'm like, ooh, maybe I could get that Common Rider record for $60 again.
Ooh.
Which I've only seen it once for $60. It's been higher and higher every time. And so I'm just like, I saw the Weird Al it was $60 after shipping. And I'm like,
whoa.
sold.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't blame you since you have like the rest of the collection.
Yeah, like I'm buying it right now. I'm not taking the risk that this is not going to be available anymore. Right. Like I did with Metallica's Beyond Magnetic when that hit $60 once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashton says I can't name songs, so I have no room to talk. I can sing a song and not know the name. Yeah, well, I mean that's
yes.
I mean, but like these contestants, like
no, these contestants didn't have the right songs. They didn't have the right titles for the wrong songs. No. So
a lot of like seriously, this dude in this game with the Foreigner song finished with the worst, like the least amount of money I've ever seen anybody win with.
It was like $40,000.
He won $40,000.
Yeah. That's like he got 2 right or something.
You in the final round, you win $10,000 for every song you get right.
Yeah.
This dude finished with $40,000.
Did he even get one right in the?
I think he got one.
Oh.
I think he got one. And then the next one, like the dude was just taking so long to answer or pass. And I'm just like, yeah, I would have gotten 6 of these, and then you got the one I didn't get.
Yep.
And I probably, like, if I would have, like, gotten through the other 6 and come back to that one, I would have probably come up with California Girls by Katy Perry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the only reason I even know that song is because my sister, being the dork that she is, she wrote a Western New York Girls, response to the California Girls. Mm. And I mean, it's awful, but it gets stuck in my head every time I hear the Katy Perry song. I don't know the words to the Katy Perry version. I know the words to my sister's version. They're both horrible.
No Doubt at the UB Gym and staying at Tuesday in the Square, Buffalo is the 2 pits that Carol Burt has been in.
That's Greg Burt's mom.
Yes.
If you didn't know.
Yes, I haven't been in a real like heavy metal mosh pit, but I've definitely been in some circle pits.
Yeah.
In the last like few years, so
yeah.
You can't resist them when you're seeing bands like the Interrupters or Real Big Fish or Less Than Jake or
If you're not moving,
the
you're doing it
Aquabats.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's, but yeah, I think I would do pretty well on Name That Tune.
I think you would too.
I don't know how to get on. And let me see if they responded to my tweet, which I highly doubt. I tweeted them.
If they did?
I tweeted them right before the show. I had a question. No, I don't have any notifications. Can guitar strings be classified as noodles? Discuss, says Rock Band.
Why would they be discussed as noodle or just what?
I don't know.
What?
Anyway, so I tweeted right before we went on the air. I tweeted to the Name That Tune Twitter account, which doesn't have any replies to anybody, so I wasn't expecting a reply. And I asked the question. I said, suppose a contestant is in the last round, the Golden Medley round.
Yes.
Where they play the songs with no lyrics, and you have to guess what the song is, and you get $10,000 a song. So suppose you're playing a song that was parodied by Weird Al Yankovic. If I were to name the Weird Al Yankovic song, do I get the money? Because technically, if you're playing the music from Beat It, and I say, that's Eat It, I am technically not wrong.
But wouldn't you know that it's also Beat It?
I would know that it's, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I would know the original song. If I'm like, I don't know what some of these more recent Weird Al songs are. Well, I guess I do, but I mean, but seriously though, if they're playing Beat It with no lyrics and you just have to guess based on the tune.
Yeah.
If I say Eat It, am I wrong?
I feel like you have to say what's written on the card.
I would argue that. I would sue. I think
You
if they
could
told me,
sue.
I think I would sue if they told me I was wrong.
$100,000.
I would sue for the $100,000 if they told me I was wrong because I guessed the Weird Al title instead of the real title. I'm not wrong. They're almost note for note the same.
Right.
You, Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise came on after I don't know what the fuck that was.
Oh my God, that was great.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
What did I ask it to? I asked it to play what in my butthole. You know Butter's song that he sings in South Park?
Which is what in the butt.
Yeah, but I think the name of the song is what in my butthole.
I'm pretty sure it's what in the butt.
Well, whatever. We got something else in somebody else's butthole, and it was hilarious.
Yeah. And it was just literally this, somebody just repeating N-word in my butthole.
Yeah.
And I'm just like looking at you like, what in the fuck?
I didn't mean to do that.
And then Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise was the next song it played.
The thing is, we listened to that whole song.
We did, because we're just like, is there anything else besides this over and over again? And it wasn't. And then, but then Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise comes on. And I'm just like, Coolio. And you're like, it could be Weird Al. And I'm like, nah, it's Coolio. And you're like, well, you won't know until the lyrics play. And I'm like, no, it's Coolio. And then it was definitely Coolio.
I guess so, yeah.
I have been listening to both of those songs since they've come out. I know the difference.
Well, aren't you something?
You know.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Anyway. So yeah. I mean, but plus I have Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise on vinyl.
Yes.
Got Weird Al's Bad Hair Day on CD.
Okay.
So I and I do listen to those songs regularly. So I kind of, yeah. I wonder if I don't know that I have Weird Al songs. No, I do know for a fact that I have Weird Al songs and the originals on vinyl, because I have Even Worse and I have Bad.
Okay.
And I think I was talking about this last week, wasn't I? Where I was saying that Even Worse was a much better album than Bad.
You were. Yeah.
Like, Bad is a really good Michael Jackson album, but Even Worse is a really good Weird Al Yankovic record. So it's
See, I don't really see much appeal in either.
Yeah, I like both.
They're both really good artists, but I'm not into it.
Yeah. I like both. So that's, for me, that's, is that a piece of pie?
I ate all the pie.
Yeah, we finished the pie. We had pie.
Yeah. It is a piece of pie. Ashton, we ate the pumpkin pie.
You sent me to pick up some prescriptions. And I was like content to just go pick up the prescriptions and come home. But I also had it in my head that if I had to go to Tops, I was going to get some string cheese.
Yes.
For no apparent reason whatsoever. But I'm like, I'm not going to Tops. I'm just going to the store, and I'm going to the pharmacy. I'm coming straight home. And I get out of the pharmacy. I pull my phone out of my pocket, and it says, eggs?
And we had one egg. I can't do much with one.
Fine, I guess I'm going to Tops. So I go to Tops, and I go to grab the egg. Well, I get the string cheese first because it's on the way to the eggs.
Okay, yeah.
And then I want to go get the eggs, but some lady, of course, parks her cart right in front of the fucking eggs. It's like, God damn it. So I had to walk around like through the cat food aisle.
Oh.
And when you come out there, that's where all the baked goods are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a pumpkin pie right there. And I'm just like, fuck. Oh, yeah. I love pumpkin pie. I need pumpkin pie. I'm not going to buy a pumpkin pie. I'm not buying a $6 pumpkin pie. I will wait till they're on sale in November.
Right.
And then I like went around and I got the eggs. And then I'm like, Fuck it, I'm getting the pie.
I'm so glad you got the pie.
I bought a pumpkin pie.
I ate 5 of 8 pieces.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I had 3. So
I'm actually like, you're lucky you got 3.
yeah.
They were little pieces, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a smaller pumpkin pie.
And he cut it into 8. It only really needed to be cut into 6.
I don't know. I always cut pies into 8. I don't know why. Just habit, I guess.
Well, it is easier to cut it into 8 because
It is, because then it's just cross.
Yeah.
Cross.
But since I have pizza experience, I can cut into 8, I can cut into 6, and I can cut into 24.
See, I don't have pizza experience. I actually did a thing on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know if we really have time to talk about it, but I did a thing on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
ThinkSoJoE, not the show. Just me. That one.
Just you.
Okay, I did a thing on Twitter where somebody had posted, oh, here's 6 jobs I've had and 1 I haven't.
Oh.
Here, I tweet a lot, so bear with me.
Yeah, you do. Jeez.
And I think that was during Raw the other night, so I don't know. I don't see it. Anyway, but I was like, but yeah, I've never worked in fast food, in any kind of food service, so I don't know
You're
how to
so
cut things into
lucky.
6s.
You're so lucky to have not worked in. Well,
There it is. Here,
I'd say on one hand, you're really lucky to have not worked in food service. And on the other hand, you're really unlucky because if you know how to cook, you will always be able to find work.
I know we're running low on time here. We got about 3
Wow.
minutes, but yeah, the ones I posted, these were the ones I said. I was like, 6 jobs I've had and 1 I haven't, and see if people can guess, which is a lie. I said, digging holes in a cemetery, Blockbuster Video, theme park janitor, hotel auditor, narrator, Walmart, grocery store cashier. And one person who didn't know me guessed, and they guessed that hotel auditor sounded eerily specific. And I'm like, yeah, I did that for like 15 years. It's why I can't sleep at night.
It's true.
And then my cousin came along and got the right answer. You know the right answer.
Walmart, right?
Walmart is indeed the right answer. I
Yeah.
never worked at Walmart.
Who would work for the devil?
Yeah. I know a lot of people who have worked for Walmart. So
Yeah, it's like McDonald's. It's just one of those stops along the way.
yeah, I never worked at Walmart, never worked in food. The closest I've worked in food was working in a hotel that had a kitchen in the
The waffles.
well, I guess the waffles, yeah, but before that, the night we had I had gotten robbed, and then they hired a security guard to hang out with me all night. And nothing fucking was happening. So it's me and this security guard just fucking hanging all night. And he's like, "Yo, you want some you want some chicken fingers?" And he would just go into the kitchen and fry up some fucking chicken fingers.
That's
We'd just sit there.
awesome.
We'd sit there like just watching YouTube or playing video games or whatever the fuck, just getting paid for it and eating chicken fingers like, like yeah, okay, cool. This is cool. Like this works for me. I can totally deal with getting paid for this, especially I lived right across the street at the time, so it was just like I don't even gotta go far in the morning to get home.
Yeah,
like
that must've
literally
been
2
nice.
blocks. Yeah, and like oh yeah,
2 blocks rather than 2 hours.
yeah right. As opposed to 2 doors now
Right.
to get
yeah.
to get out of. Well, I guess 3 doors because you got this door here. but-
Yeah. Well, you always stop at the bathroom too. So.
I do. I stopped to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hygiene. I brush
Hygiene.
I brush my teeth and I use my moisturizer.
Yeah. I noticed that you have quite a few bottles of moisturizer.
Yeah, they're starting to add up. I'm thinking of like
Maybe cancel that.
I'm thinking of skipping a month on Dollar Shave Club because
Yeah,
we've got
maybe.
plenty of blades. We've
Oh
got
my
plenty
god.
of
We have
plenty of-
we have like overflowing boxes of blades.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll skip next month.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we got 20 seconds here.
All right,
so.
what are we gonna play?
Well, we are going to play Invictra, which was another one of Rick's picks.
Yeah.
And this song that's coming up is called Wretch of Deceit. Don't forget to hang out with us next Wednesday. Check out Things You Might Not Know on Monday, coming up at 2 p.m. On the Things You Might Not Know channel. And we'll see you next week.